This is a message for the woman who is in a season of change, who is in a season of waiting, who is excited for what's to come, but not really fully present in what's currently happening. This is a story that I know all too well because for the last 10 months, my husband and I have been planning to go to business school, meaning that we were going to up and move our lives out of the city that we're currently living in, out of the home that we're currently living in, out of the community that we're currently in, to go somewhere else for 2 years while he does his MBA program, and then to not even know where we're gonna land after that because we didn't plan on coming back to Charlotte, North Carolina, which is where we currently are. Let me set the scene here because it's even funnier when you hear all of these different elements. So we moved into our home, our brand new build home last May. It's been a year, but about 2 months after we moved into this home, my husband made the decision that he wanted to go to business school. I was for it. I love him. I wanted to support him in his dreams, but I immediately was like, well, then what's the point of furnishing this place? What's the point of decorating this place? What's the point of making friends in this place if we're just gonna leave? It's just gonna make it harder to leave. So why would I put any more roots down here when I know I'm leaving? So fast forward, spoiler alert, it is now May, and we actually have just decided that we are not going to business school. So we just spent the last 10 months, a year, being in this in-between phase where I was just kind of preparing for what was next, but I wasn't fully living in the current present that I was in. So I didn't furnish my house. I literally do not have a single decoration up. We don't have a dining room table. We used the cheapest outside furniture. We didn't plant the trees and things that we had planned on doing. We were truly living in this transitionary phase of oh, this is just temporary. We're going to move on to what's next. And I wasn't fully living. And I have so many regrets about that, especially now that I am going to actually stay here in Charlotte. And I wish I would have laid down more roots and enjoyed that season that I was in more and allowed myself to fully root down and enjoy the present moment instead of being so focused on the future, so focused on those next plans that I really didn't live in the current moment. Here's another example that might be all too common for you. Maybe you're currently in your 30s and you're single and you are so excited to be in a relationship, to be with your forever person, that you're not actually enjoying your current single season. There are so many people who are married, who are in that long-term relationship, who wish they could have gone back and had all the time to focus on themselves like they did when they were single. And maybe you're in another phase where you're ready for kids, where you're trying to get pregnant and you have canceled all of your plans for the next 9 months because you're planning on being pregnant. Well, just so you know, life doesn't always work out the way that you planned. So if you're doing that, if you're sitting there and you're in this, I'm just gonna put life on pause until this next thing happens, until this next season, you might be on pause for longer than you think and you might end up missing a lot of your life. So this video here is a little bit of an encouragement, a little bit of a reflection, and a little bit of advice on what to do if you feel like you're in this in-between spot. The most important thing that you can be doing in this in-between season is maximizing your growth and your experience in the current season that you're in. For example, for me, what this could look like is, oh, well, I'm not going to be in Charlotte in the future, so what's the point of making any new friends? What's the point of joining a church? What's the point of doing any of these things when it's only temporary anyways? Well, because there is so much growth to be had in that season, right? What if this season that you're trying to rush through, that you aren't fully present in, is actually a season that's meant to change you? That's actually meant to help you feel peace and joy and have some growth. These are things that you'll miss out on if you are so focused on what's next that you can't take full advantage of what's in front of you right here, right now. So the first thing I want to talk about is what not to do in this current situation. So I did some things right in this season, but there was also a lot of things that I did wrong. The first thing that I want to advise you not to do is to wish away the current season. This can look like so many different things, right? For example, you could be like, oh, I just can't wait for this, right? You're romanticizing what's next so much that you can't live in the present, that you can't enjoy what you have now. Maybe this looks like just not taking advantage of the time that you have. Maybe this looks like scrolling more than usual. Maybe this looks like leaning into your vices more than usual. Maybe it looks like skipping out on opportunities because, you might be pregnant. Oh, you might be moving. Don't let this view of what you think the plan is for the future harm your present moment. And then another thing that I want to make sure that you do not is cling so tightly to your plans and your timeline that your eyes aren't open, that your heart isn't open to what God might have planned for you instead. So maybe you're convinced that, oh, I really want to get pregnant in the winter time so that I have the baby during the summer and that's when I get to enjoy my maternity leave and all of these things, right? You are clinging so tightly to it that you're like, nope, I'm not going to start trying any sooner. I'm going to start trying then, and I want it to work ASAP. And you start to get so frustrated because your plan is not working out exactly as you wanted it to. And this is something that's so common. We have this idea of what's going to happen. For me, it was like, once we go to business school, then I'm going to be a group fitness instructor at one of the fitness studios there. Well, I just missed out on a whole year that I could have been doing that here in Charlotte because I was waiting for what's next. I was so tied to this idea of, oh, well, we're going to be living somewhere else. So what's the point of actually making my home feel cozy? I missed out on a whole year of having a cozy, beautiful, aesthetic home that I feel at peace in. There are so many different ways that this could show up, and it can rob you of so much joy and so much peace because, again, you think that your plans, you think that your idea of the future, that your timeline is what's best when you don't know everything. And how many times do you look back in your life and say, oh my gosh, I'm living such a better life than what I thought that I wanted, than what I thought were my plans, than what I thought was my future. God loves you and He has an amazing plan for your life. And that doesn't mean it's going to look like what you have planned for your life. And this takes a lot of mindset work. It takes a lot of perspective shifts. Don't see this period of waiting as, oh, well, it's not happening yet. Like, I just have to grin and bear it through this season. No, take advantage of it. Really soak in what you have now and trust that God has a reason for the current season that you're in and make the most of that. That brings me to the next part of this video, which is what should I be doing with my time during this in-between season? The first thing that you should be doing in this in-between season that you're in is taking full advantage of your current circumstances and the growth that is to be had in this current season. For example, for me, what this could have looked like is, oh, well, I'm leaving Charlotte in like 10 months, so what's the point of, really laying down any roots or joining a church or doing any of these things? And that could be a perspective that I used and that I had given me an excuse to just stay in my house all the time. And honestly, I did use that excuse way more than I would have liked. But instead, I can flip this and say, okay, so how can I use this fact that I'm planning on leaving Charlotte to really grow myself as a person and to enhance the experiences that I'm having in my life that maybe I won't be able to have in my next season of life. So for example, right now we live 10 minutes away from a really great church. And it could have been so easy to say like, well, it's not gonna be our home church because we're only gonna be here for another year anyways. So we could have just stayed out, we could have not joined the church, but instead we became volunteers. And it has been such a rewarding and amazing experience. And I'm so happy that I didn't miss out on that because it only would have been 1 year. And that experience made me grow so much. It helped me realize so many things about myself. And I'm so happy that I didn't pause my life and that I actually went for it and I did something that didn't make sense because it was only for a short period of time. I am so happy that I did that. And I can promise you there are so many different things that you could do, even if they're just temporary, that will still change your life, that will still help you grow as a human. So I really want to encourage you to make the most of the current season that you're in. Experience all that life has to offer for you right here and right now. It doesn't matter if it's temporary. Temporary things can change you just as much as long-term things. So do not let this season pass you by. The next thing that I want you to do that will help change your life and will help you really embrace and enjoy this current season is to romanticize your current life. Maybe there are a ton of things that you're looking forward to in this next phase of life that you're going to be in. You're so looking forward to being a mother, to being a wife, to nurturing and taking care of someone else. Or for example, for me, I was really excited for this next season to be moving to a new place. nice. And there was a lot of things that were really exciting about this. Oh, I'm going to be immersed in a community. It's going to be so much easier to make friends because there's going to be so many other people in similar walks of life with me and all of those things. There was a lot of things to look forward to, yes. But if I stayed there and I focused on all of those things that I'm looking forward to in the next season, I wouldn't be able to fully enjoy what I have now. And for example, one of those things is my husband, he would have been so busy in that next season. He was going to be doing recruiting and business school, and he was going to be gone most of the day. We weren't going to have as much quality time together. So what can I do instead? Okay, hey, I know in this next season, my husband's going to be a lot busier than he is now. Maybe, for example, if you are looking forward to being a mother, you are going to be a lot more focused on your child in the future. You will have a lot less time to focus on yourself. So use this as a season, this time where you're not pregnant yet, where you're not a mother yet, where you're not at business school yet, to fully take advantage of all of the perks and the things that you have now that might be harder in the future. Really root down, really focus on the extra time that you have now, the extra energy that you have to focus on yourself, and use that to your advantage. I can promise you in the future scenarios that maybe you're a little bit busier or that you have more things that are pulling at your energy and your focus, you are going to wish that you had more time and more energy to focus on yourself. So take advantage of that. There are so many different ways that this could show up. But I just want to encourage you to take advantage of all of the perks that you have in your current life. So if you are in between two seasons, maybe write about what things you're looking forward to in that next season. But then take a moment to actually sit down and say, what are some things that I might miss in that season about the current season that I'm in now? Truly, like take 10 minutes to journal about this. Pause this video right here, right now, and write this down. What are some things that I would miss about my current season? What are some things that I'm currently not taking advantage of? What are some things that I'm taking for granted that I will someday really wish that I had back? Because there will be some things. There are so many things, even if you're in a really hard season, there are so many things about your current circumstances that can be used for your benefit, that can be really enjoyable and really bring you a lot of joy and peace and growth. So take advantage of that. Take the time to actually sit down and journal this out, and you will be so happy that you did, because then you'll have more awareness to, okay, what things can I focus on right now so that I'm not just wishing this season away, but I'm instead fully living into it and really enjoying my life for what it is right now. So I'm not wishing to be in the next season, but that I'm really fully taking advantage of this perhaps temporary season that I'm in right now. And then the last thing I want to encourage you to do is to trust in God, the universe, whatever your idea is of this benevolent force that brings all life together and that makes everything happen. Trust that that is working in your favor. Because honestly, even if it's not true, just believing that, just having that mindset shift will change your life. Imagine how much better you will feel if you wake up and you say, oh, this isn't happening to me, it's happening for me. You will have such a better mindset towards it. Your brain will start to seek out, oh, how can I take advantage of this season? How can I grow in this season? How can I use this to my advantage? Instead of saying, oh, I'm a victim. This sucks. Why am I going through this? You know, maybe say, why am I going through this? Do you hear that shift? There is such a difference between being like, why? This isn't fair. I don't deserve this. And maybe you don't. But if instead you say, okay, what can I learn from this? Maybe it's not what I wanted for my life. Maybe it feels really hard, but I can grow from this, because you can. You can grow from anything. You can use any situation to your benefit if you have the right mindset. So just try to trust that there is a force out there that has something amazing for your life. This or something better, right? Maybe you have this plan for your life that feels like it would be amazing and perfect, but trust that if it's not happening right now, that there is a reason for that, that your life is going to turn out immeasurably more amazing than you could ever ask or imagine. I want this for your life, and so does God. I truly believe that. So, my friend, if you are in this season where you're waiting for what's next, where you're not fully present to the current moments, I hope that this gave you a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of reassurance that you're not alone, and hopefully some tangible tips that can help you see, like, how do I make the most of this current season that I'm in? How do I stop wishing this life away? Because time is the only resource that we will 100% run out of at some point in our lives. So why not take advantage of every minute, every second, every day that you have on this planet is truly a gift if you choose to see it that way. So stop wishing that you were in the next season. It is okay to plan for and to be excited for that future, but not at the expense of your present. If you enjoyed this video or had any good aha moments or realizations, or if you did the journaling exercise and maybe you're feeling a little bit better about the current season that you're in, I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Feel free to give this video a like, to subscribe, because I will be posting all kinds of videos like this about how to make the most of your current life while building the life of your dreams. That is what I'm all about. I am huge on holistic health. I am a certified personal trainer, yoga teacher, nutrition coach, all the things, who is focused on building a happy, healthy, holistically amazing life. So if that is your vibe, I would love it if you gave me a follow and joined along on the journey. I look forward to meeting you, and until next time, I hope you have the best day.